and welcome. You're watching dbmnTv. This is Abigail R. Carmelim bringing you the news and events from Meghalaya. Here are the headlines for today. 3 drug peddler apprehended in Bernihan. JNNURM buses once again permitted in Kandailat and Yodo. MLAs demands regular payment of teachers' salaries. And Tura Zoo wholly maintained animals perishing inside it. And now the news in detail. On the 26th March, drug peddlers were caught transiting narcotic drugs from Assam towards Shillong and vehicle checking was conducted. At around 7 p.m., a local Maruti Alto 800 bearing the registration number ML05M7648 was intercepted and recovered 14 soap boxes sealed underneath the seat of the said vehicle, which contained narcotics weighing 140.37 grams and was tested positive for heroin. The vehicle, along with 3 mobile phones, Rs 4,000 cash, 3 ID cards and 1 syringe was seized from the accused person. All formalities had been observed in the presence of independent witnesses and as per NDPS Act. In this connection, the 3 accused persons were arrested, namely Dilip Maulong of Nongmansong, Bijay Thapa of Lat Nartiang and Banchangan Kupar Khongdup of Umkadat Nongmansong. JNNURM buses, commonly known as red buses, who were previously debarred from entering Kandailat and Yodo during Christmas season in 2022, are now permitted to regulate their activities as usual in Kandailat and Yodo. The red buses drivers are evidently delighted to be able to serve the public and to earn a living once again in places where majority of people would prefer taking taxis and buses for their convenience of transport from one place to another. The past few months had brought a lot of inconvenience to daily wage laborers, producers and consumers who have selling and buying activities in Kandailat and Yodo, the 2 main market hubs for people.
Dang man hindi bermasalah ki bos, pipi trip tayo trip belanja bos. Apa trip istri dari itu. Kita rasa kemai lawannya bos biar.
Lama kayo kan.
Dari sedang. Siapa pun din wilayah balik kemana?
Beri kain kubang ke bas. Ke bas. Kain mana ba pelat dia ke bas.
Pak Bright. Kita kata kali dengan haji ni saya pentingnya kita terbang kok coba.
MLAs from the opposition presented an issue related to teachers, especially the delay of salaries for ad hoc and SSA teachers. As a response to the matter, the Minister of Education, Rakam A. Sangma, along with the Chief Minister, Conrad K. Sangma, exclaimed that the state consists of 65,000 teachers and 2,200 crores have been spent on account of the teachers' salary.
Speaker sir, the reply to state question number 64. Sir, the state government to ease the problem faced by the teacher has been taken into consideration the following steps. Number one, sir, approve the Meghalaya State Education Policy by the Cabinet on 28th September 2018.
If it can be, the answer is very long here. If it can be tabled in the table of the House, so that we can ask further questions.
It's already placed on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I've seen that most of the questions that I was supposed to ask were answered here. But there are a few clarifications which I need to ask from the Minister in charge and the government. Whether the government has any intention to have a policy to create a special fund in order to avoid delay for the payment of salary to the teachers in case the government of India delay releasing of fund, especially to the SSA teacher.
Sir, the matter we have examined and necessary step is being taken.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I will add another supplementary question. Whether the state government has any intention to bring a policy to have an equal pay for equal work to the teachers. And I have seen here from the reply, 8, the government will ensure the teachers' salary conform to a minimum skilled workers norm. So may I ask whether we have the SSA, the ad hoc, the improved system, whether do the government have the policy for equal work, for equal pay for the teachers in the state?
Sir, Meghalaya has the most complex categories of teachers that we have. So Meghalaya has about 65,000 teachers in the state. So as of now, sir, the matter is being examined. But sir, to bring the equal pay structure is very challenging for the state financial health. So as and when, sir, if the financial health of the state government is okay, so I think we can examine it better. But as of today, it's no, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I have further questions. As per the answer, rationalization of school, especially with regard to unavailable schools, surplus schools, low enrollment schools, zero enrollment, single digit enrollment, single teacher schools. Now, some of the schools I've seen, especially in the village, the number of students is very less. And in fact, the school is totally unproductive. And hence it is a waste of public money. What is the policy of the state government on such type of schools?
Sir, the point that raised by honorable member is very true, sir. Sir, the village where I live now, I have every data and I have every information. It is true, sir. The numbers of schools having very low enrollment. And this is the matter of concern. And sir, it matters, it affects on the quality of education. Yes, sir, we cannot say surplus of school, but there are schools, be it a government office school, be it a SSA. So I don't know, sir, what went wrong and what did happened, because there are many school children is not going to the schools not taking admission in the government school. It is nearby at the locality, and there are many SSA schools, the many government LP schools whose enrollment is below 10. So after the rationalization of the teacher is also taking place in some of the district, in some of the location, but it's not easy. There are many resistance from the locality as well, and also from the teachers itself, sir. So may I also would like to request through the to all the members of this August House also, sir, I think so everybody should contribute on this exercise because the quality matters, sir. So there are teachers, their school which have more number than the students. So closing of that school is not easy, sir. I think we have to take confidence of the locality, of the teacher, sir. I think, sir, after the constitution of the Meghalaya State Education Commission, we are going to reach to the depth of the issue, depth of the problems, and so we will, after constitution of the Meghalaya Education Commission, we will take into this consideration, and so we will take all this matter seriously, sir.
Thank you, Minister. Teachers are the backbone of the society and shaping and molding the students and the society at large. Almost every year, the price of the commodities had keep on rising. Now, but the salary of the teachers for the last 3-4 years, the increase of the salary in the 3-4 years almost remained the same. Now, may I know from the minister in charge whether the state government has the capacity to increase the salary or keep some increment to the teachers every year?
So only in the last year, in 2022, government has decided and has enhanced the salary of the adult and all the categories of the teacher except SSA, sir. And the government is examining, taking the teachers on our priority, how we can give the maximum assistance to the teacher, because as you said, sir, it's a pillar of our society, and it's the one who prepare the human engine for the growth of our nation, sir. So government has already enhanced the salary of adult, the for teacher, and even the cook come helper, and all category of this only in the last year, sir.
Yes, Pak Adin, please.
I of the Honorable Minister in this 264.2 that the state government shall constitute the Education Commission. So may I know when do we expect for the government to come up with the state with the State Education Commission and start its exercise for these prescribed conditions?
Sir, the search committee has already in the process, and so we are very soon. I think the matter will be coming to the light, sir.
So, may I know how soon it will be?
Sir, it will be very difficult to give the timeline, but I think the maximum within a month, sir.
Rini, please.
Very specific question which directly relates with the problem of teachers as it has been asked. Sir, much has been asked about the single digit student, 2-digit, or even no student. But I want to ask a question. For those schools who are performing well, who have lots of students, and who are also among the best schools in our locality, but they face the problem now, the teachers face the problem because of the resignation of SSA teachers. I think our Honorable Minister, he was himself a teacher. He knows this very well, that there are schools who are performing to the best in the locality, and it was known by everybody. I can name the example of school at Mokorwat, Nativity School. It was one of the best schools and is suffering now because the teachers, SSA teachers, resigned for the good reason that they get a better privilege, and they resigned from the job. And now they are not able to appoint any other teacher in their place. So I want to know from the mind of the government how to address with this problem, how to solve this problem, to ensure that the problem of teacher in those schools where 4 or 5 teachers is required and they have now only 1, 2 due to resignation is addressed.
Sir, coming back to the same point as we have said earlier, so this is a matter of concern for not only the school of his area, sir. There are a certain number of schools, but to be frank, sir, to me, sir, the schools which is performing well, I think, sir, we should take care of that school. So, with that particular school, sir, as the government has already decided to rationalize the schools where the low enrollment is. But, sir, having said so, sir, it's a very challenging exercise. So, I think, sir, after the constitutions of the Education Commission, and also with due process and exercise, sir, I think, sir, we would like to assure you, sir, I think what the particular that school our Honorable MLA has mentioned, sir, I think that has to be, I will take note, sir, and we will examine whether to appoint a teacher or to bring teachers from other school where there is a low enrollment, sir.
Speaker, sir, not only one school, actually I'm just quoting one name, otherwise I've got the list of schools, performing schools who are facing the problem of teachers, of no teacher this time. I'll give you the list. I'll give the list to the Honorable Minister of all the schools.
Sir, the reply be copy paste.
Dr. Mizanu. Wait.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Bryce Terwell, I think he has first raised his hand, so I'll give it.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Minister in charge Education has replied that as and when the financial position is okay, the problem will be solved. So I would like to know as to when the financial position is going to be okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Speaker, so it is beyond the imagination. So it's not easy. It's a very, very tough challenge for the state because as we know, sir, our state is a very low revenue generated state. So it's purely depend on the financial health of the governments. Financial health of the governments. So it's very difficult to explain when it will be, sir.
Because, sir, since this is an important issue and a lot of people are concerned, it's important to understand where the reply is coming from. So the education sector, as I had mentioned in my budget speech, that approximately 2,700 crores is budgeted this year. Out of the 2,700 crores, 2,200 crores are spent only on salaries of teachers. And hence, today, even for us to tweak, even a 10 rupees or a 15 rupees or 100 rupees increase in the salary has an impact of hundreds of crores because we have 65,000 teachers. Hence, the scale at which we are looking at is, as mentioned by the Honorable Minister, is unimaginable, sir. So we are looking at the impact going to anything between 500 to maybe even 2,000-3,000 crores of additional impact on the system and the finances of the state, depending on the decision that we take. So it's not as simple. If it is a matter of few crores or even a few hundred crores, we are able to then look at the situation and decide. But the kind of impact that's going to be there on the entire system to be able to come up with a uniform pattern is unimaginable. So we're talking of thousands and thousands of crores. So that's the issue that is there. And hence, it's not very easy for the state government, though we do realize that there are these challenges that needs to be resolved. And hence, what the government has approached is, let us try, even if we cannot untie all the knots in one go, at least we start off with the ones that are possible, work on improving the system, and take things forward as we move along, and try to resolve as much of the problems as possible. So that is the kind of approach that we're having, and I'm sure that the Education Commission is going to help us really look into this aspect and chalk out a more practical way forward for us in order to take decisions.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from the Minister in charge education, the reason as to why the government have not yet implemented the enhancement of gratuity for teachers of aided institutions since the pay revision of 2017.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Yeah. May I know from the Minister in charge of Education the reason as to why the government has not yet implemented the enhancement of gratuity for teachers of aided institutions since the pay revision of 2017.
Of which category again?
For aided institutions, aided college teachers.
Aided in the sense deficit or ad hoc?
Deficit.
Deficit, sir. Sir, the correct information is unavailable with the minister or me right now, but I've taken note of the point. This is for deficit pattern. He is mentioning. So there are so many categories and so many different levels that are there. So all this thing has to be seen, sir. So I don't have the exact information with me right now, but I'll definitely get the matter examined, sir.
Yes. Please. Edelbert. Edelbert, please.
Sir, since we know the fact that teachers is our nation builders, so it is not satisfied enough just to be a casual in their employees. So may I know the mind of the government? What step taken by department to ensure regular salary for casual teachers engaged in government school?
Sir, since this question is, as I said, related to finance of the state also, hence I would take the opportunity to reply on behalf of the minister also. Sir, number one, what we need to understand that these categorization of teachers are very different, sir. The ad hoc school teachers, which is being mentioned by the honorable member, what we have to remember, sir, that these are schools started by private managing committees. It's not started by government, sir. These are schools that, say, an individual or a committee decides and they start the school on their own. It's not that the government has started them. It's not that the government has appointed teachers. Once these ad hoc schools, once the schools then start running, they realize that maybe they don't have the sufficient funds to further run the school. And hence they approach the state government that, can you help us with some kind of a grant to run our school? Not government school, run their school. And hence these teachers in the school that has been started with by the private organization, by the private managing committee, is then looked in by the government and says that, well, that's good, these people are running it well, let us help them with some kind of an additional fund. And that's when the government of Meghalaya then gives the funds as an ad hoc grant to those teachers. So what I'm trying to explain, sir, is that it is not that these salaries of these teachers or the school was started by government of Meghalaya. These were started by private managing committees. There are many such schools that are running today. There is close to 700 such schools that have applied for ad hoc grant to government of Meghalaya. And we have not been able to pass them because the earlier schools that have been given that ad hoc grant, these private schools run privately by the managing committee. And hence, the distinction of these two needs to be done very clearly. There are the government LP schools, which the government runs. Hence, it is the government's duty to pay them, and we are paying them salaries on time, sir. All the benefits as per government, things are going to these teachers. So this category is completely different from these ad hoc teachers. And hence, we need to understand that ad hoc teachers was never started by government of Meghalaya. It is our private schools run by private managing committees, and state government is simply giving them an ad hoc grant, sir. So this is very important to understand this aspect. Number two, sir, that it is also, we have realized that yes, the fact that even though these are privately run and privately owned schools, and the government is giving them a grant to help them support their system and the institution. But the point is that yes, these teachers also deserve to get their salaries on time, to be given by the managing committee, not by the state government. So therefore, this suggestion has been in fact something that we have been working on it for a long time. That's the reason last year we enhanced the ad hoc grants to be given to these private institutes run by private managing committees. And we are working also to ensure that these grants that are given to these private institutes are also given on time, in the sense on a regular basis, so that they can then further give the salary to their teachers on time. But what the distinction which we need to make, and the honorable member and the state as a whole and the members of the House need to understand, that ad hoc teachers are private managing committee schools run by private institutes, not by government. Government simply gives a grant to them to help them run their school. So this distinction needs to be made very clearly, sir.
Pak Saleng, Sangma, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'll be asking a very simple question. Now, we know that there is a symptomatic problems and challenges faced by the department, but we have to, deal with the problems. Sir, there are teachers who have already retired and then shifted to, some of the teachers, they have already shifted to other departments for their better job. So the vacuum created by the teachers are not being filled up. So the simple question is that those teachers who are already shifted, whether they are replaced or can be replaced. So any step has been taken so far so that, the dropout of school children will not be there in the schools. Because maximum of the SSC school, even the government LP schools, you can't find the students right now because of the teachers are not present. Those teachers who are already present, whether that can be filled up, because this is the simplest way of filling up the vacant post. So I would like to ask the government whether any replacement has been done so far as to, look into the matter at the earliest, because there are teachers, there are schools who are not having the teachers even now also. So at least that can be done at the earliest, because these are the challenge. This is not the challenges, because the teachers is already there. So I would like to request the government if those can be filled up at the earliest. Speaker, sir. So I think the honourable member means of the government and the school teacher.
Yes, even the SSC teachers also, because I'm not telling the education department to radically change everything overnight. At least those teachers who are already not there right now, even the SSC teachers also, even the government school teachers also, sir.
Speaker, sir. So as of today, in the last 2 years, in the government welfare school in whole of the state, there are more than 1,002 vacancies are there in the government welfare school. The recruitment process will take place preparation after completion of all the processes. So the government has decided, since there is a delay of all this kind for the recruitment of the already MTET pass candidate, so government has decided to send a teacher on temporary basis to all the government LP school.
May I specifically know from the minister in charge what is the reason behind non-appointment of SSA teachers in case of retirement and resignation? Because this is a problem that in many schools on the SSA scheme, where a teacher retire or resign, they have not been replaced or reappointed immediately.
Sir, we are coming back to the same point and again after one round again back, because there are many SSA where some have been become vacancy due to resignation or shifting up from here and there. So, sir, government is doing all exercise, but in view of the rationalization, sir, as we said, there are many SSS schools which having very, very low enrollment, and we are doing the exercise of rationalization, and government will consider all these matters. Sir.
Okay. Lastly, Celestine, Dr. Celestine, please. But please don't repeat the already asked questions.
Yeah, I will not repeat,
the same line.
My question is, in a situation where a teacher is supposed to go for retirement, say in the month of September, he's due for retirement, then who will take over the school in the month of October and November, and who will take over to take care of the admissions processes for the next academic year? What is the SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, for this stopgap arrangement that the Education Department is having? Because there are many schools where a teacher retires in the month of November. When it comes January, February for new admissions, there's no teacher to look after that. So that is how many schools do not have enrollment, because there's no teacher to do the enrollment work. So what is the SOP or the stopgap arrangement for that situation?
Speaker, so this is exceptional cases, because most of the school having double teacher, triple teacher. So if the headmaster going to be retired, the assistants will always take over. And so in most of the cases, it's the fact that there are many teachers working in different schools. So if they understand that that particular teacher is going to be retired in the month of September, in the month of November, so the teachers that come on transfers. So these are the matters is being examined, sir. And if that point to be correct, as our honourable member pointed out, sir, matter will examine to do the needful, sir.
On the 27th March, shocking images of the condition of Tura Zoo inside Nehru Park have emerged with abandoned animals and the carcass of a deer lying helpless inside the cage. Visitors found no zookeepers attending the animals inside the cages, and many of the endangered animals have disappeared. Despite the hot, humid weather, drinking water was not found to be placed inside the cages of the animals, and a majority of the cages were found totally abandoned with damaged fences and dead and dried leaves lying all around the place, just like an abandoned facility. The zoo, located at Nehru Park outside of Tura town, is usually thriving with visitors, but lack of maintenance could soon turn visitors away and lead to disappearing of innocent animals. Women's Catholic Union Zone 7 started a celebration of the special day, Women's Week, which lasted for 2 days on the 25th and 26th in Umsoalat, Ribhoi district. The celebration was inaugurated by D.K. Pariat and concluded by Charles Marngar, MLA and MDC Mawati on the 26th March. In the event, the women discuss on topics related to the present generation, which includes a new perception in technologies to reach a solution by cooperation between both men and women. Women from 5 parishes, which includes Umsning, Maubri, Umbir, Umsoalat and Maulasnai, participated in the celebration with sincere engagement. Priests and religious delivered a talk on how women can shape and mold the family. On the concluding day, a holy mass was conducted in the morning, presided by Father Kalbinus Majau along with Father Paul and Father Leo Yaubor, parish priest, Umsoalat parish. The former office bearers of the Women Catholic Union Zone 7 were venerated for their hard work and dedication in uniting the faithful for a better cause. The day was highlighted with a cultural program which includes dancing, singing, dramas and other performances prepared by the women.
Kasur bas leo tiang ka sa Salam ya lasrul syadu ke jinyam Henry yakmat ujisu kadon ke jingkermen berkadon ke jingsyania ke baskam hadu kata-kata komta wadap deng ke jing ke jinjanjar ke jingdo jingkermen bar ke jingkus laimen sim kadon berabor ke jingkermen lada ngi syania how play lada ngi ngai how play lada ngi IT lot how play niyoi kanuksa nakamaria bakamata kibadon kata ka jinget ke baskam how chris klio shisha ya kata ka jinget ke jongki dak beliau biang ya ke jing pen yau Lazarus shushu kane ke gospel mental kasni ka jingkermen barka a jing shai barka a jing shampang yangi bahaga kayam rudai ublay ubalong kenran ya ka jing ka jongi baro namar kata ngidon kam ban ringkat ber dry kenang bengila ban plat ringkat badu dry kombau jisu hukum ya Lazarus ban mi na po jintam haka ju kadukom ujisu ukentu yanga ukentu yapi ukentu yangi ban mi na kadukom emma menta haringkat kejing ngausi ban kejing janja kejing ngau dia kejing kuslai na ba don ka wei pat kadukom haringkat kejing kermen berkata kedai kejing ringkat badu play ringkat badu Jisu Christ.
Milim MLA Ronnie V. Lingdor presented a question in the Legislative Assembly on what the government had done to control the vehicles that fix irritable honk, giving out loud and disturbing sounds. The sound is practically a noise that annoys the people, especially at night. He added that there are few troubled youngsters who drives their cars sprinting at midnight in Upper Shillong, disturbing the residents with the bustling sounds they make. In response to Ronnie's complaint, the Deputy Chief Minister Snyao Langdhar promised to look into the matter and man the situation utilizing regulations under the Motor Vehicle Act.
We inform the House that there is a 0-hour notice tabled by Sri Adelbert Nongrum, MLA, under Rule 49A of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business to the news item published in Maupur dated 31st December 2023 under the caption T43 Klur Pendonkam Pakla Ka Health Department Ban Yakum COVID Dispersing. Sri Adelbert Nongrum, MLA, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to raise a matter of grave importance on the rules 49A of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business. The matter relates to a new item which appeared in Maupur on dated 31st January 2023 under the caption Saupulai Kulur Tingka Penokam Bakla Ka Health Department Ban Yakun COVID. The same news item also appeared in Ulongsan Yuma on the same date under the caption Saupulai Kulur Tingka Bam Klok Ka Sorkar Jala Nakapisa COVID Ka Sorkar Preg. Mr. Speaker, sir, I only request for clarification from the Health Minister to the particular matter of grave importance which I shall specifically draw attention. During the last Assembly session, that is autumn session 2022, I had put a start question to the government on dated 12 September 2022 regarding amount spent on COVID-19 till date. Regarding amount spent on COVID-19 till date. And with reference to the total amount spent from the center, the reply from the Health Minister was rupees 76.56 crores. Now, we see from the news item that has been raised in this zero-hour matter that the RTI finding by one dispersing Rani, one of the RTI activists, which he received from the CPIO, NHM Finance Division, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, that central release of grants in AIDS through NHM under India COVID-19 emergency response and health system preparedness package for state of Meghalaya was rupees 15.61 crore in phase 1 and rupees 104.12 crore in phase 2. I am not aware of COVID-19 activities continuing in the state after dated 12 September 2022. I may repeat again. I am not aware of COVID-19 activities continuing in the state after dated 12 September 2022. Therefore, as a member of this August House, it is my parliamentary privilege to be given the correct information and not to mislead. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, through this zero-hour matter, I ask how the amount of money spent from central government on COVID-19 activities in Meghalaya can be officially declared in the State Legislative Assembly for an amount lower than what is declared by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India in an RTI. I am very grateful to know the fact because we are representing this August House, representing the voice of the people of the state at large would like to know the fact. With just these few words, Mr. Speaker, sir, I resume my seat.
Yes, Minister in charge to reply, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, at the outset, I would like to thank Pa Adelbert Longbrook, Honorable Member from North Shillong constituency, for calling attention on this topic through Rule 49A. During the COVID pandemic, I would like to clarify to the August House the following facts. During the COVID pandemic period, Union of India, through Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, had come up with an emergency COVID response package to support the efforts of state in its efforts towards fighting COVID. The package was accorded to Meghalaya in 2 phases, viz. ECRP Phase 1, ECRP Phase 2. This was funded through the National Health Mission. ECRP Phase 1 is 100% centrally funded head, whereas ECRP Phase 2 encapsulates a 90:10 funding pattern between the central and the state government, respectively. ECRP 1 was for the year 2020 to 2021, and ECRP 2 was during 2021 to 2022. The question asked in the Assembly in the autumn session of 2022 was regarding the amount spent from central and state respectively for COVID intervention. Thus, the answer that was mentioned was 76.56 crores in this August House, sir. The RTI filed to the Union Ministry had asked for the amount sanctioned, for which a reply given as on 20th January 2023 was 104.12 crores rupees. I would like to mention that the amount mentioned in the RTI is correct. However, the reply given during the then autumn session was about the money that was spent already. Various works under ECRP2 are long-term works, the works of which are ongoing. Moreover, the sanction for one major component of the package, that is the critical care block amounting to 21.38 crores, was given much later than that of the other components. The work has just begun for that, and no financial progress has been made so far. Therefore, the amount that has been misunderstood as missing has not been spent and shall be released based on the physical progress of the sanctioned work, sir.
VPP MLA from North Shillong, Adilbert Nongrum, on the 27 March raised a zero-hour notice in the Legislative Assembly of the state to discuss on the expenses incurred for the pandemic COVID-19 by the Health Department.
Mr. Speaker, sir, reply to Star Question 65. Sir, there is no classification on VIPs in the state government. However, for the purpose of security, we adopt the Ministry of Home Affairs directives which categorize protected persons as 1. Z plus protected person, 2. Z category protected person, 3. Y plus category protected person, 4. Y category protected person, and 5. X category protected person.
Your supplementary question.
Sir, may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister the number of persons in each category?
Sir, just so that we are aware of what I'm going to say, so the security entitlements of protected persons is as per the classified secret document of security arrangements for protection of individuals, which is called the Yellow Book by the Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs. And hence we are restricted to give too many details about the Yellow Book and the details of the Yellow Book in a public domain. But for the, and I have all the information with me, there is no problem. But I can share up to this information.
Just want to know the numbers, not the name.
I know, but I just want to tell you that beforehand, so that the more you ask me questions, so that you already know that there are restrictions and I need to follow that. Yeah. So I'll just give the numbers, sir. So there are total 103 in the different categories. There are 2 in Z plus, 10 in Z category, 0 in Y plus, 19 in Y category, and 72 in X category.
Sir, I just want to remind this House, sir, that the Supreme Court on April 27, 2012 has prohibited the use of tinted glass on vehicles beyond the permissible limit prescribed under the Motor Vehicles Act. A 3-judge bench headed by Chief Justice S.H. Kapadia said the manufacturer may produce the vehicles with tinted glass having visual light transmission of safety glasses windscreened as 70% and glasses as 40% VLT respectively. Further, prohibit the use of black films of any VLT percentage or any other material upon the safety glasses, windscreen and side glasses of all vehicles throughout the country. The bench, also comprising Justice A.K. Patnaik and Swatan Tar Kumar, said the bench directed the Home Secretary as well as the police heads of the respective states to ensure compliance with its direction which become operative May 4. Use of these black films has been proved to be criminal paradise and a social evil. This certainly helps the criminals to escape from the eyes of the police and aids in commission of heinous crime like sexual assault on women, robberies, kidnapping, etc. If these crimes can be reduced by enforcing the prohibition of law, it would further the cause of rule of law and public interest as well, the bench said. So I just want to ask a question, because in my experience, especially in these last 4-5 years, it seems that there are too many people, who behave themselves as VIPs. They put back frames on their vehicles, even a vehicle without bearing a registration number, the siren, and this has caused a lot of convenience to the people of the state. So maybe a friend of a relative or a business partner of those who are at the helm of affairs, they are taking advantage. And this has become, an eyesore to the people of the state. So may I know, what steps will the government take against those people who behave themselves as VIPs, taking the advantage under that cover?
So we are adhering to all the rules that are there. In fact, even in my personal vehicle also, I don't put black films. So we are ensuring that we practice what we preach. And there could be incidents and there could be individuals, sir, who do this. And as and when complaints come to us and this comes to our notice, immediate action is taken. So if there are any such cases, through you, sir, I can inform all the members that if there are such cases, individuals who are, and if anything comes to our notice, definitely, sir, immediate action will be taken.
On 27 March 2023, 4th Battalion BSF Meghalaya organized a medical camp under Civic Action Program at bordering villages Muktapur and Jaila Khola, District West Janta Hills. During the camp, BSF doctors attended approximately 400 patients. Awareness campaign on hygiene and sanitation was carried out, and wheelchairs were also distributed for the physically challenged villagers. Beside health checkups, BSF also distributed various items for use. The program was attended by a large number of people from the local community who then on appreciated the noble efforts made by BSF. Shri Devinder Singh, Commandant 4th Battalion BSF, also inaugurated 2 sports clubs at villages Muktapur and Sanghat, to which complete sports kit were given, and he announced that 6 sports clubs will be opened under civic action programs at different bordering locations. Hito Maurangkening Circle, under the leadership of President Gary S. Mautho and the Secretary Bishem Lingdor Nonglai, on the 26th March at 6 in the evening, sent away and to tender into Indian Oil petrol pump situated in Deusau, Maurangkening, for the deal was to teach youngsters of the area. Instead, he did not perform his part of the deal. Therefore, Hito sent the petrol pump attender back to where he came from. From the same area, an electrician was caught residing in Deusau, Maurangkening without the knowledge of the village authorities. He was also driven away from the place he resided all this time.
Maurangkening Circle mentagasing lawan hanya kani kapom hanya Indian Oil kepada ni Deusau. Ina kaliang kasang kembaju long na kapor penong banailat di kini poi kini mendering mlak banailat. Kabaditan nakadaw kawa jing bomdan jong manager ni kani kapom pansir banailat ini bakar kayu para Khasinews ni hanrai ka jing sam jing bak ai ngobang solngo ka ba uni ubreu arpana ini bakar suang ben kayu ni nuru lo benikran staff ini tapi ni staff yang ba mundan kata jing kayu mundan kata kayu ini nakaliang kasang nakapor kubang juang bang nimdei kita ki butang kanu kam tam hawa ya dai baka kata ya ka ri baka sai bendriu jungi ingin be kini poi ai ginom ailat dan nuru ada yanu nuru dan ada hakanu kanu ka sakaro ha ka bayadei nakaliang kasnong kala pentip sungi bakat aipor yang lukar arbenai bau kayu ki kena kasina ni bande ya ka kam mencari pom karena du arab santrik ubrai binukong kemud hadu arab santrik ini benai belai ada minin kesini ya por ini balakot dong we kena kasih makan lu untuk cikai dan makan kita ada diberi ini ada yang kasih yang bersiran yang wan baik yang duduk wan liu ulai itu saya yang ini ba don we kena kasih lu wan ban yo cikai ni ni nak kalian kasih ni masih bersih ni kini kasih jam ban be na yu kini kecekah.
So viewers, with that we have come to the end of today's edition. Till we meet again, thank you for joining us. Khasinews.